Now, we know it's that time of the year when you start thinking about your next vacation, and Italy is probably one of the destinations you might be thinking of. But of course, there are a few things that you want to know before you're booking. Like, is it going to be crazy busy in Italy in 2026? Or should I be aware of anything that might be happening in Italy in 2026? Well, if that sounds like you've come to the right place because in this video, we're going to tell you everything you need to know before booking your most amazing Italian vacation in 2026. Hey everyone, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea. We are the travel addicts and we live right here in Italy. We travel around the country all the time, and for this reason, we love to share our knowledge of Italy with you so you too can have an unforgettable trip here in Italy.
Okay, so let's start our video by talking about what is happening in 2026. Well, what is happening in 2026?
Well, the most important event that will impact travel in 2026 is the Milan Cortina Winter Olympic. Starting on February 6, 2026 until the 26th of February, the city of Milan and the town of Cortina in the Alps will be hosting the Winter Olympics and Paralympics 2026. For this reason, if you are planning to visit Milan in February, be aware that best hotel will be booked solid. Prices will be really high and the city will be probably really busy. Fortunately, February is not the most common month to visit Milan, so from that point of view, you're safe. Other than the Winter Olympics and Paralympics, no other major events are expected to happen in Italy in 2026. Of course, there will be other events that take place every year in Italy, like the Carnival in Venice, which is a lot of fun, and this year will be in January 31st to February 17th. Actually, it needs its own video, so if you want to know more about the Carnival in Venice, check out the video up here.
And then, of course, we have the Salon di Mobile, right? Which is the furniture show. Yes, it's really famous in Milan. Actually, it's one of the biggest furniture and design trade shows in the world. Hosted in Milan in April between the 21st and 26th, yeah, of April 2026. And those events always attract huge amount of visitors year after year. And because of that, the prices for hotels, they will increase significantly during those dates. Now, let's talk about another event that's actually going to be over in 2026. It's the Jubilee or the Vatican Jubilee.
In Rome.
In Rome, exactly. Now, on January 6, 2026, the Catholic Jubilee in Rome will be over. For this reason, the city should go back to its normal level of tourism, which is already a lot. Now, 2025 was an incredibly busy year for Rome. In fact, it was estimated that the first 9 months of 2025, 24 million pilgrims visited the Eternal City on top of the usual 50 million. Now, we went to Rome twice in 2025, and let me tell you, it was insanely busy. In 2026, though, it should go back to its normal 50 million annual visitors. For that reason, the prices for hotels should go back to normal-ish. Now, finding availability for accommodation, attractions, and restaurants should go back to the usual level. And that means that it's recommended to book hotels at least 6 months in advance and always book those refundable rates and book the skip the line tickets, of course, for the most popular attractions that everyone is going to want to go to, right? Like the Vatican museums and the Colosseum.
Absolutely. Moving on to another topic about visiting Italy in 2026, and we talk about new flights to Italy. Okay, there are some exciting news. Several new flights have been announced to and from Italy from North America. These are the most important ones. There will be a Houston to Rome Fiumicino. ITA Airways is launching the first ever direct connection between George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston and Rome Fiumicino. Service will start on May 1st, 2026, with 3 weekly flights increasing to 5 times a week from June through October. Next is Seattle to Rome. Both Delta Airlines and Alaska Airlines are launching new seasonal routes from Seattle-Tacoma International to Rome Fiumicino. Delta service begins May 7, 2026, while Alaska service will begins in April 28, 2026. The next direct flight is very exciting for us because it's to the island of Sardinia, which we love. Delta Airlines will start to operate a New York JFK to Olbia, Sardinia. This will be the first ever non-stop flight from the US to the island of Sardinia with 4 weekly seasonal flights starting on May 20, 2026.
Right, and if you want to know what to see and do in Sardinia, check this video up here. Now, the next flight is also very interesting. It's going to go from Newark to Bari on United Airlines, and they're going to offer 4 weekly seasonal flights from Newark to Bari from May 1st to September 7th, 2026. Now, Bari is a wonderful gateway, the amazing region of Puglia, where you can see places like Alberobello and Lecce.
Also from Bari is a short 1 hour drive to the stunning ancient city of Matera, which is strongly recommended to visit. Next two flights are to Milan Malpensa. The first one, Boston to Milan. JetBlue will launch the first ever flights to Italy with a daily seasonal service to Milan Malpensa Airport, beginning on May 11, 2026. And next flight is Miami to Milan on American Airlines. It will operate a new year-round daily service between Miami and Milan, starting on March 29, 2026. Of course, if you want to know more on how to get downtown Milan from the Malpensa airport, you can take a look at this video up here.
Now, the last very exciting new flight for us Canadians is from Montreal to Catania in Sicily. So Air Canada is going to be offering 3 weekly flights from Montreal to Catania, Sicily, starting June 4th until October 23rd, 2026. Now, Catania is a wonderful city right at the slopes of Mount Etna. And from Catania, it's possible to tour around the beautiful island of Sicily. And we're very excited about these flights because now passengers can reach some very interesting destinations in like Olbia in Sardinia and Catania in Sicily and now Bari in Puglia. Now, let's move on to another topic about visiting Italy in 2026. And we're going to talk about the exciting world of ETIAS. So, what is the ETIAS?
So according to the European Union website, the ETIAS is the travel authorization for visa-exempt travelers to enter one or more of the 30 European countries. Now, that's a mouthful to say that ETIAS is practically an electronic travel authorization that some travelers will require to travel to Europe next year. Now, the ETIAS program was supposed to start last year, but it was postponed, and it appears that now will be required starting in the last quarter of 2026. We made an entire video about this new visa last year, and you can watch it up here, but here are some quick recap.
Right. If you're a citizen of one of the following 30 countries, you do not require a visa to travel to the following countries, also known as the Schengen area. However, you will require an ETIAS starting in the last quarter of 2026. Now, the starting date of this program keeps getting postponed. However, we strongly recommend you to check the EU website often, a few weeks before your trip, just to find out the exact date. We'll leave a link in the description for that. Now, with your approved ETIAS, you'll now be able to travel into the Schengen area for short visits as many times as you like, as long as you don't stay more than 90 days within any 180-day period. And it's important to know that the ETIAS does not guarantee entry. When you arrive, a border guard can still ask you for your passport and other documents, and will check that you meet the entry rules. Now, to apply for this ETIAS, you will still need a valid passport. Passport must be less than 10 years old, and it must have at least 3 months of validity left. You'll apply through the official ETIAS website or the mobile app. The fee at the time of recording is €20, and it's free for travelers under 18 or those over 70. When you submit your application, you're going to get an email confirmation with your reference number. Keep that number. And after your application is reviewed, you'll get another email telling you whether it was approved or not. When you receive your ETIAS, definitely check that your name, passport number, and all the details are exactly correct. Even if there's one letter that's out of place, you may be refused entry at the border. So you should always follow the official Travel to Europe guidelines to fix those errors. Most ETIAS applications are said to be approved within minutes, but sometimes it might take longer. You should always get a decision within 4 days, but it can take up to 14 extra days if they need more information, or up to 30 days if you're asked to attend an interview. Because of this, we suggest you to book well in advance or at least apply in
Yeah.
advance.
Now, we know that was boring, so let's move something a little bit more up, fun and happening in Italy in 2026. And that is the Italian cuisine will become UNESCO intangible cultural heritage of humanity.
I was wondering when we were going to talk about food.
So, if you like a nice bit of pasta or a nice pizza, the 2026 might be a good year to take a cooking class in Italy to celebrate this amazing UNESCO recognition.
Well, there you have it, a recap of what's happening in Italy in 2026. So, like we always say, be sure to plan ahead so you have the best experience possible, but don't plan too much, right? We hope you learned something and enjoyed the video. If you did, please take a moment to like and subscribe because it'll help others find the video. It'll help support the channel, and you won't miss us when we film our next videos in 2026 and beyond. In the meantime, happy holidays, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.
Ciao!